Welcome back, everybody, to episode 14 of Golden Gulch. It has been definitely a really long time. In the last episode, which was like an eternity ago, we worked on the station and the ending half of the queue. I almost said beginning, but we're doing the beginning in this episode. So that's what we're working on right now. We're going to be doing a lot of foliage work in this episode, but we're not just going to be doing this queue. We're going to be doing a lot more, and you can probably tell that from the thumbnail of this video. We're going to be adding maybe another ride, maybe, and then we're also going to be adding a gift shop. So that's to come in this episode. It's going to be a lot of work, and hopefully that makes up for the lack of videos in this series for a little while. But that's what we have going on in this episode. Not too long is going to be spent on each topic or each thing that we have to do. For right now, we are just working on the queue to Kierama. I still am having trouble saying the name to that, and we're actually going to be putting down the sign for that as well. But for right now, we are putting down the plants, and I wanted to put this rock sort of thing going on here to kind of border out the trough of the water ride, just to make it look like it wasn't just a big plastic or actually metal kind of tube in the middle of nowhere. I wanted it to feel like it was into the environment, and we're going to be doing that in the next episode as well, where we're going to be doing the theming for the two rides, and we might actually do that in the next couple of episodes, depending on how long it takes to do that. But this is kind of just getting that theming started for these two rides. And actually the theming was started in the last episode when we did do those stations, just because the station kind of set the boundaries and what the whole theme was going to be about, with this kind of jungle Aztec theme, but has to still continue on with this Western type stuff and overall this Mexican area that we have going on here. So right now we're just working on this, and another part that I wanted to incorporate into these rocks was a little bit of splash stuff. A lot of water rides like this, the raft rides that you ride in real life, do have water components that will get you wet. It won't just be a ride with drops in it, which the ones that I've ridden actually don't have drops in it. It just goes through and you get splashed with the water effects. So just a little bit something different there. But now we're just kind of doing some little editing here, adding some custom, or not custom queue, but the in-game queue fencing, so that way it doesn't take us an eternity to do that. And then on with some more foliage. We're going to be using these plants a lot. I don't remember what they are, but they're pretty much a flat green plant, and it's a really good face filler, place filler. So whenever you have a bunch of area that you need to fill up, I use these a lot, and with a combination of a bunch of other plants. So that's what we're doing right now. For right now, we're just kind of doing this mid area between, or in this little circle here of the river rapids and the station. So that area was kind of empty, and I wanted to kind of make that area feel nice and finished. And so now we're moving on to the next thing. The queue for that is pretty much done. We'll go back and tweak it just a little bit. But for right now, we're doing other pathing work that has to do with the actual getting to this ride, because if people can't get there, then what's the point of having it? And we have this split in the path, and the path we're using is actually the natural pathing. Thought it'd be a little bit interesting here. But we actually added a big, tall spinning ride. I don't really know what it's called. I've never actually seen one of these in real life. I just know that the height makes it super scary, since I am very, very scared of heights. And it spins on the sides of it as well. There's like four spinning things, and then it goes up to the top, and then does a bunch of spinning stuff, and then comes down as well. So that's what that ride is. I probably wouldn't ride it, but it's just some sort of ride to fill in this area that would be otherwise kind of bland, I would say. So that's just kind of brings a little bit more depth into this area. And I like the ride. I think it would not have gotten into this park if this area was not a thing. So it's just another way of getting another flat ride in here. And we're going to be doing some theming for that in a minute. But for right now, we are going to be working on this huge custom sign that I have going in for Chimera. I can't say it. I'm just gonna call it the ride right now. Which is kind of sad because it's my own ride and I can't say the title of it. So, that's what we're doing right now. We're just making the titles, or not the titles, but the signage, and we're actually gonna be making the overall title, which is the Chimera, and then we're gonna be doing the individual sides, as I was kind of talking about in the last episode, where it would be the roller coaster is gonna be like one animal, and then the water ride's gonna be another animal because that's what Chimera means. So one's gonna be the bull, which is the roller coaster, and one's gonna be the fish, which is the water ride. And as I said, we might be doing a like half episode where we just maybe do or attempt a sculpture of something maybe out of wood. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it's still a possibility. So that's why we're gonna be actually be leaving an area open just in case I decide to do that. So we'll see what future plans have for that. But now we are moving on to a new thing, which is this little gift shop that I'm placing on the other side of the water ride. And this is on the other side of the little archways I have. And it's gonna basically connect the two buildings, the temple station and this gift shop that we have going on here. So it's gonna kind of tie everything together. And I really like how it comes out. It really ties together, as I keep saying this, but it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, I guess you could say. But then again, the kind of architecture of this building is going to be a bit different, but the same at the same time. So just a little bit of diversity going in here. And by the way, we placed down inside a just a memento shop and a I can't talk. It's the restroom building. We just put a classic restroom building because we need to make sure that people can go to the bathroom and don't have to walk a mile to get there. One thing that I did not do is the interior to this building. I kind of set it up, but I did not have the resources to do it yet. I plan to go onto the Steam Workshop and download a couple of ThemeMaker toolkit items, so I can download some like clothes hangers and stuff, and it can be a full-on gift shop. So I plan to do that, but that will probably happen off camera. So I don't know. You guys will probably be able to see that in the cinematic for the ride of the roller coaster and I still can't talk. The roller coaster or the rapids. Either one, which will probably be a combined video like the last one that we did. So you guys can see that, or I might even post it on my Instagram, so you guys can follow that. That's in the description below as well. But continuing on what we're doing right now, we're just finishing this building up with this nice panel flooring, I guess you could say. There's nothing too crazy about it. It is a little bit kind of metallic though. I wasn't expecting it to be as reflective as it was, and it just kind of it looks weird, but at the same time it looks natural. So I don't really know what to think of it yet. I like it though. I think it works for this area, and we're gonna be dressing. I will be dressing this up off camera, so don't worry about the interior of this too much. And after this, we're gonna be moving on to the last thing that we got to do, which is the queue for that flat ride that we moved on or that we placed down earlier in the episode. But that's to come in a second, which actually will be happening after this, after we do this trough work. We finished the rocking here just to make it look all one part and not two separate things. And then, as I said, this area actually is going to be that area that's going to be boxed off just in case I want to attempt this sculpture, which I think I really actually want to try. And I think it's going to be a big challenge, so it might take a little while to do that. But in other words, that's the plan for what that area is going to entail. And then this side might just probably be some foliage and kind of a little bit of a lookout area. And then yeah, a bunch of foliage, as I said, because that's why I'm doing some terrain painting. I wanted it to feel a little bit more lusher. That's why it's a little bit greener and a little bit lighter in color. And then we have a bunch of plants going in on the other side to make it feel kind of not on the edge of the park. It's still in the interior. It's not seeing like the roads that you would see in real life. And then I kind of checked the viewpoints from the main street village that we have, just making sure that nothing is protruding too much of the natural skyline and stuff. So now that we have all of that out of the way, we are going into the final portion of this video, which is theming this little flat ride that we have. We're going to be using this bamboo tree on the outside of the plaza area, I guess, or this middle section, and that's going to be the outline. And then on the inside, we're going to be using those flat green plants that I said that I was using earlier in the video. Those really do help for those filling spaces, and that's what we're going to be using, along with some of those maroon colored plants, just to kind of bring in a little bit of pop of color and relate the two rides a bit. Since this one is a little bit in the middle, and it you could like without theming, you could say this one's not related at all. But once we get the queue covers in here, which I will be doing, I will be putting in some queue covers for this ride. I thought it kind of looked bland just having all the foliage, and you can see that right here. It just needed something, and I really didn't know what, so I just kind of looked through the roofs, and I found the gingerbread. I think it's the gingerbread house roofing or something like that. It came. I don't even know where it came from. It's just I found it and I thought it kind of looked like thatch roofing, but without using all those thatch pieces that come in game. So I just decided to use this, and I think it will come out very very well in the ending. And I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally do. Instead of making it like a pole, one pole on the side, and then a same pole kind of connecting to it, I did two poles with a pole in between it, and that's just a little bit of a more realistic thing where they'll put the screws, which I was trying to do right there. They'll put that on the side, and it'll make it a little bit more stable and sturdy, I guess, or at least looking that way. And I actually made it a blueprint, as you see I'm doing here, and I haven't really made blueprints in this game, but I decided to make this a blueprint since I actually really liked how this queue cover came out, and then I just copied it and pasted it all the way around using the blueprint format, and that's what we came up with. So that is pretty much what we are doing for this episode. We're pretty much done with it. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Golden Gulch. It has been a little while, but it is back, and even though Planet Zoo is right around the corner. Planet Coaster is still the OG to me, so Golden Gulch will not be going anywhere. So until then, we are doing one more thing, which is this little water element for this little crossover area, but that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to have an amazing day.